Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to our neighborhood board, the Āliamanu Salt Lake Foster Village Airport Neighborhood Board 18. Time is 6:31 p.m. I'm going to start our meeting. Let's please stand for our flags presentation, the posting of the colors by the Moanaloa High School JROTC Drill Team Cadets under the supervision of teacher and retired Army Master Sergeant Socrates Plantilla. These honor guards are Cadet Master Sergeant Kenzo Yanai, Cadet Tech Sergeant Henry Cosme, Cadet Airman First Class Harry O'Donnell, Cadet Airman First Class Yadi Cruz, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Chris Sivangse, our national anthem and Hawaii Pono'i will be sung by Salt Lake Elementary School staff member. I told her I wanted to say teacher, but she said no. Arame Domingo.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Hawaii Pono'i Nana I Komoi Kalani Ali'i Ke Ali'i Makualani e Kamehameha e na kaua e pale me kai e makualani e kamehameha e na kaua e pale me kai e.
At this time, here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance is Salt Lake Elementary School's Team Roddy Tilly. This remarkable team participated in the first LEGO League, a global program where students in grades 4 to 8 tackle real-world challenges through innovative projects and autonomous robot missions. FLL also emphasizes core values such as discovery, innovation, impact, inclusion, teamwork, and fun, fostering responsible and engaged citizens. Under the guidance of coaches Chris Lee Eli Lynn Haupu, and Troy Okumura, Team Radai Tilly has had an extraordinary year. They were crowned Mililani District champions for the second consecutive year and went on to become the overall state champions, which also earning the second finalist award for core values at the state tournament. Their success earned them a spot at the World Festival in Houston, where they competed against 159 FLL teams from all 50 states and various countries, including Mexico, Greece, Brazil, and Japan. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the dedicated members of Team Radai Tilly, Princess Angeline Rapasura, Pamela Angelica Rapasura, Sophia Nepales, Ranji Marsam, and Chris Ding. They will now lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance. Good job, Team Radai Tilly. Honor God's post. Please continue to stand. I'm going to sing. Never mind. Sit down, please. I want you guys to go home real quick. The Declaration of Independence was adopted and signed on July 4th, 1776, and is a foundational document of American democracy. This was the American colony's permanent separation from British rule, and it laid the foundation for the United States as a nation. 250 years later, July 4th, 2026, we celebrate the United States of America, the most powerful country in the world. 2026 will be full of celebrations to mark this historic milestone. This will give every American an opportunity to pause and reflect on our nation's past, honor the contributions of all Americans, past and present, and creating a future for the next generation and beyond. Neighborhood Board 18 will do our part in celebrating America's 250 years. At each meeting this year, we will honor and celebrate America by thanking the United States military, armed forces, first responders, doctors and nurses, schools and educators, along with all Americans who have helped shape this beautiful country that we live in. With that said, please focus your attention to the screen as we honor Salt Lake Elementary School on their 55th anniversary of the month, and also them representing schools and educators for America's 250-year anniversary.
People, are you listening to what we're about to say? You see, we're on a mission, trying to find a way day for you and for me. A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world. A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world. Could you imagine all around the world a little aloha in every boy and girl? Could you imagine how simple life could be with a little aloha in you and me? Let's spread a little bit of aloha, put a little love in your heart, take a little dip in the ocean. Oh yeah, uh-huh. Sing it. A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world. A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world. Well, aloha means hello, and aloha means goodbye, and aloha means I love you, and I wanna take it higher. I wanna get high with a little aloha. I can touch the sky with a little aloha, aloha. Let's spread a little bit of aloha, put a little love in your heart, take a little dip in the ocean. Oh yeah, uh-huh. Sing it. A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world. A-L-O-H-A, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world.
Thank you, Salt Lake Elementary School on its 55th year anniversary of the school and celebrating the 250-year anniversary of America. Students, educators, staff, volunteers, and parents contribute in making this country the best in the world and showing Hawaii's aloha in our school system. Let's start off with our meeting. Madam Secretary, roll call, please. Everyone from Salt Lake Elementary School, please don't leave yet. We still got another segment of this meeting with the school.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, I'd like to start with Joseph Amura. Here. Clarence Davis III. Douglas Fujikura. James Kavika Gower. Faye Johnson.
Present.
Nancy Valdez. David Yomes. And myself, Chandra Kanimaru. And so there's 8 of us here with a quorum forming. Thank you.
You up, Honolulu Fire Department.
Aloha, everyone. I'm firefighter Klingon with, I'm here for the Mokulele Fire Station right across the street, and I have the statistics for the Āliamanu, Salt Lake, and Foster Village neighborhoods for the month of April. During the month of April, we had 7 nuisance fires, 1 cooking fire, 11 activated alarms, no fire present, 109 medical calls for emergency, three motor vehicle crashes. The fire safety tip this month is for wildfire prevention and preparedness. Hawaii is entering a period of increased wildfire risk. With dry conditions, tall grass, and shifting winds, one spark is all it takes. Most wildfires are human-caused and preventable. Take action today with these tips. Clear dry brush and vegetation around your home. Never park on dry grass. Hot exhaust can ignite the dry grass. Avoid activities that create sparks or heat during dry, hot, windy weather. Stay aware of weather and fire conditions. And for any more information, you can visit the fire.honolulu.gov and the hawaiiwildfire.org websites. Does anyone have any questions?
Board, any questions for the fire department? Audience, any questions for the fire department?
Yes, sir. You have a.
Throw more.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, back in March when we had those Kona storms kind of thing, were you folks involved in helping out at that time? And if so, what?
Yes, I'm not current. This isn't my current station. I'm leaving over here to help out. I do know that this station did assist. I'm not sure exactly what their duties were that night, but they did assist with the Kona loss.
Audience, any questions for the fire department? Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Honolulu Police Department?
Hello, good evening. Sergeant Kato with District 5, this Āliamanu, Salt Lake area. First, just wanted to say that was pretty impressive with the singers and the Honolulu Honor Guard. It was really nice to see that. Okay, so moving into the stats for this month, aggravated assaults, we have 1. Auto thefts, we have 5. Burglaries, we have 1. Robberies are 0, as well as 6 assaults. Simple assaults is also 0. Thefts is 3, and breaking into cars called UEMV is 0 for the month. Total calls for service is 575. And the tip for the month, just wanted to FYI. So this month is at Click It or Ticket for the month, and it already started, which was on the 11th. It's going to the end of the month, the 31st, and it's by NHTSA, which is funding it. So the young adults are targets for, which is the 18 to 34-year-olds. Those are the ones that usually don't wear their seatbelts. And why we are doing this is because safety. Back in 2004, the last safety study was done. 97% of the people killed did not have seatbelts on. So if you wear your seatbelts, another study in 2017 said that the 15,000 lives were saved because of the seatbelts were worn, and it was worn properly. So just real quick, if you do wear the seatbelt, and you should, you want to wear it over your chest, of course, and on the hips, and don't just put it on your hips and sling it under your armpit, which is what a lot of people do. And apparently that's one way to get more injured in the event of a car crash. But pending your questions, that's all I have.
Board, any questions for the police department? Audience, any questions for the police department? Thank you. District. That was District 3.
Thank you, Oni Hong, District 3. Going over the stats for April, motor vehicle thefts, there were 3, burglaries 0, thefts 2, and car break-ins 0. Total cost for service was 253. Regarding the motor vehicle thefts, 2 of the 3 were Kia Forte types of vehicles, and the other one was a moped. Sharing a case of interest. This happened in May, though, but I'll just read it off. On May 11th, at about 6 p.m., a 36-year-old male suspect was observed by Stadium Market security rummaging through the trash dumpster. The guard, who was on a golf cart, requested that the suspect leave the property. The guard continued his checks around the property, where he again encountered the suspect. This time, the suspect pointed what appeared to be a handgun at the guard. The guard, fearing for his life, drove away on the golf cart and called 911 to report the incident. They were able to locate the suspect at a nearby gas station where he was subsequently arrested for terroristic threatening in the first degree. No firearm was recovered, but the suspect uttered to the police that the gun was a toy. The suspect was charged with a $15,000 bail. And that's all I have for this month. If there are any questions.
Board, any questions for proceeding? Audience, any questions for the police department in proceeding? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving on agenda, we're going to Neighborhood Board 18 Warrior Awards. Cover the April 2026 Warrior. Unfortunately, the awardee is not present. He had a prior engagement. So we'll cover that in July. But we'll eat this cake in the back table. If anybody else is hungry, there's cake in the back table. So we're moving on to the May 2026 award. Neighborhood Board 18 established the Warrior of the Month Award on August 8, 2024. An award certificate is presented at our monthly scheduled meetings to a persons, or group that provides outstanding service for the good of our community. The Warrior of the Month Award is presented to honor these people, past and present, who have greatly contributed unselfishly to help make Āliamanu, Salt Lake, Foster Village, and the airport area the best community district to live, work, and play. It is our belief that it's time and long overdue for our community to recognize these movers and shakers. And what better place to recognize these remarkable people right here at this Neighborhood Board 18 meeting, often referred to as the People's Meeting. With that said, our Warrior of the Month Award for May 2026 goes to Salt Lake Elementary School. Thank you for being here tonight as we celebrate a truly remarkable milestone of the 55th anniversary of Salt Lake Elementary School. 55 years of learning, growing, and building a community that continues to shape generations of students. It is not just an anniversary, it is a tribute to everyone at the school who has walked those halls, taught in those classrooms, and believed in the potential of every child who has ever worn the Salt Lake Elementary School name with pride. When the school first opened its doors more than 5 decades ago in 1970, it looked very different back then. Yet the school's mission was clear: to create a safe, nurturing place where children could discover who they are and who they can become. This mission hasn't changed, but has gotten stronger over the years by dedicated teachers, supportive families, and a community that always provides. We honor the principals, teachers, and staff, past and present, who poured their hearts into this school. Many of the educators here has been with the school for years, creating stability, warmth, and a sense of belonging that students carry with them long after they leave. We also celebrate the students, from the kindergartners taking their first steps into a classroom to the 6th graders preparing for middle school. Each student adds something special to the foundation of this school. All these students remind us every day why education matters. As we look ahead, we do so with excitement. The next generation of students will face a world full of new challenges and opportunities. But if the past 55 years have taught us anything, it is that Salt Lake Elementary School is resilient, innovative, and rooted in values that will stand the test of time. So tonight we celebrate the past, honor the present, and look with hope toward the future. May the next 55 years be filled with curiosity, courage, compassion, and the same spirit of aloha that is contagious on this campus. For everyone who has been a part of this 55-year journey, this neighborhood board and community thanks you. God bless those dolphins. At this time is Vice Speaker of the House of Representatives, Linda Ichiyama. Is she here? No? Okay. Can, we have the principal of Salt Lake Elementary School come up then. We'll start with him. Mr. Gallen?
Aloha board, aloha Mr. Yoms, and aloha everyone in attendance. I just want to say mahalo for acknowledging the hard work that Salt Lake puts on every day, day in and day out. And definitely it's been a really awesome journey for the last 55 years. I did want to kind of talk a little bit about the shirt that you see some of us are wearing. You also saw me in the last photo. The irony, thank you for putting that last one in there because it looks like I didn't change my shirt. But I actually did. So I had another shirt on in between that photo and today. But it does have some symbolism that I do want to share with all of you. So Mr. Jones, you talked a lot about, connecting that past into the future. And so today I am wearing a palaka shirt, and many of us assume, oh, it's the popular thing. But for us, it's a weave. It is a connection to that past and the present. So the people that came before us, we do acknowledge, and we believe that they really set the foundation for us to move forward. In addition, we have the kukui nut tree, which also is translated into the candle nut. And if you know about the candle nut, that's what was commonly used as fire or a light source. And so the purpose of this on our shirt is a reminder of that light that we want to carry into the next generations to come. And it's hope that we expect that our students will have. Mr. Yoms, on your shirt, can you confirm, is that a koa? Yes. The last time we were here for the Warriors Award, and I spoke about the koa, which it's very interesting that you wore that shirt because when we talked about the koa tree, that Warrior Award went to our former principal who served for the last 24 years over at Salt Lake Elementary School. So although he's not in attendance, he's with us. So we appreciate that you wore that shirt today, Mr. Yoms. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to acknowledge 55 years. Tomorrow's May Day. We all came from practice and setting up the field, so we're very exhausted, but this was important to us to receive this award. So thank you.
Principal Randall Galleon, thank you
Thank
so much. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the State Legislature, House of Representatives, Vice Speaker Linda Ichiyama.
Good evening, board members. Me? Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Congratulations to Salt Lake Elementary School. As a alumni and proud parent of 2 Salt Lake Dolphins, I wish you all the best. I can't tell you how much the school has given to the community and to my family in particular. So thank you so much for all that you do, and very excited for May Day program tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. A shout out to Laurie Sumajit. She helped me organize and get this together for this evening's meeting. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't be shy. Stand up. Anyway, we thank Salt Lake Elementary School. They have an early morning tomorrow. So we're going to cut all of you early. You don't have to stay through this boring meeting. But there's a cake in the back that you folks need to take back to the school for tomorrow morning's ceremony from the board. And before you leave, we need Principal Galleon to come forward and receive the certificate, and we'll take a break for about 2 minutes.
Thank you. Had a hand in it.
Oh, you should have it. Yeah. You got sure this. Yeah, yeah. You get the shirts probably. All the shirts.
Yeah, let's all try to. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we got the morning. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll get back to our meeting. The Salt Lake Waterway update, she's by the cake, so we'll skip that for now. We'll cover the helicopters hovering around in Salt Lake. Recently, the neighborhood board has received a number of complaints regarding helicopters flying over Salt Lake, all hovering over the Honolulu Country Club golf course. It appears that every day we are having these helicopters hanging around in Salt Lake. The board investigated these complaints and it was learned that a new policy is in place with the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, along with the Air Traffic Control, ATC, here on Oahu. This change was made due to the increase of collisions involving helicopters at airports around the country. This new policy directs helicopters when the flight path is full at the airport, they're sent away from the airport in a holding pattern until it is clear to land safely. One of these holding patterns is above the golf course at Honolulu Country Club in Salt Lake. The helicopters hover around the area until it is safe and clear to approach the airport. The ATC tower will notify these helicopters when it is safe to make their approach to the airport. The helicopters use a direct flight path along Pulo Road onto Lagoon Drive. All of the helicopter hangars are located at the airport along Lagoon Drive. The community concerns this neighborhood and the community was not notified, or we would have loudly objected to this. Salt Lake and the surrounding areas estimate to have over 40,000 people living and working in the area, which causes safety concerns with these helicopters. Next to Waikiki, Salt Lake has the most high-rise apartments and condos in the area and with the most schools. That is why Waikiki flyovers are conducted above water, not over hotels. The possibility of emergency landings from mechanical problems and few empty scenarios increase when they hold flight patterns for an extended period of time. 6 schools are located in this area as well, which puts our children in danger. The community asks that these helicopters be banned from holding a flight pattern in the Salt Lake area. Wait, I take this back. We're not asking, the community is demanding that these helicopters find a different pattern to stage these helicopters until the airport tower is ready to bring them in. Salt Lake has too many people living there, and it causes a danger to everybody that lives in Salt Lake. I thank Phyllis, Renate, Marianne, Yvonne, and Joseph for bringing this matter to attention of the board. You all are the eyes and ears of our community, and we really appreciate you. What you say to us, to the board, you guys are definitely the eyes and ears of concerned citizens in the community that makes our community better. With that said, I hope when we get to the politicians and government, they really address this issue. If not, we would have to continue to voice our concerns about this and the dangers it brings to the community. At which time, any board member has anything to say about these helicopters? If not, I'll go to the audience. Hearing none, anybody in the audience wish to speak about helicopters in Salt Lake? Sir, can you come to the microphone, please? State your name, please.
Alan Aladino. I live on Salt Lake Boulevard. Practically almost every single day, there's like commercial helicopters flying over my house. You know, I can feel the downdraft, you know, especially those helicopters, the Robinson one, you know, because I remember several years ago, there was one that crashed in Kailua, you know, and I've always feel anxiety when they're flying towards my house, you know, because I can always feel the downdraft, and they fly kind of low. So I hope, you know, FAA is gonna enforce this rule, you know. I don't want something bad to happen in the future, you know, like what happened in Kailua, a chopper falling down to the ground, you know. I don't want that to happen to my house and my family in that house. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience wish to speak about the helicopters? Anything online? Yeah. Okay, let's move on, and then Mr. O'More.
That's a question for you, Chair. Is the helicopter issue that we're going to have to deal with goes to the federal government, state government, or the city government, or a combination of both, including the military?
Pretty much it's going to be mostly the federal government. The state government has some play in it. And hopefully we can get meetings with our politicians on the federal side as well as the state side to move this along and try to move the flight patterns somewhere else. There's a number of areas that they could go to, which was interesting today, this afternoon. I saw 3 helicopters circling Moanalo Gardens and Mapunapuna. I thought that was interesting, but I don't know if that was part of a different flight pattern. I am not sure. And if, we'll see what the politicians have to say regarding these helicopters. And if not, it'll be on our July agenda. And we need to keep on pushing this issue because it's irritating. I'm at home, and at first I thought, well, but when you start hearing helicopters nonstop coming into Salt Lake and hovering over, the noise is just extreme. So we need to do something about it. And the number one concern, yeah, the noise, but that's not the number one concern. It's safety. We have too many people living in Salt Lake, and it's a danger to our residents and our school children as well. Let's move on. Salt Lake Waterway update, Secretary Connie Morrow.
Thank you very much. To all our supporters, our community supporters, I apologize that we had to cancel our April event, but we postponed it is what it is. So, we try to get word out to all the different community organizations and partners. And so we have rescheduled it for Saturday, May 16th, which is this Saturday, for the Genki ball making and the community cleanup, which will be at the Howard Shima Likini Street Park. And then on the 30th, we'll have the Genki ball toss. So all the 1,000 balls that, we'll be making on Saturday, we're going to toss it in 2 weeks after that. So May 30th from 1 to 2 at the Howard Shima Park again. Okay, thank you very much.
We have neighborhood commission updates next. Vice Chair Larry Vare. Missing in action? Okay. Okay, moving on, I wanted to cover some sports in our community. We have so many talented athletes, especially the high school level. And I just wanted to mention a few shout outs. One for the Lady Rams of Radford High School, who won its first ever OIA Division II high school softball championship, beating top-seeded Nanakuli High School for the crown. Kyra Lee and Carly Cordero led the way, upsetting the undefeated Golden Hawks. Congratulations to the Radford Lady Rams. Next is the Na Menehune of Moanalo High School's girls judo team was named the State of Hawaii High School Athletic Association Judo Champions for 2026. Three-time state judo champion Tegan Escobar led the way in helping her team win it all. Congratulations to the Moanalo Na Menehune. And this just in from last night, the Moanalo High School Na Menehune boys volleyball team won the state championship quarterfinal match against Hawaii Baptist Academy, sending them into the semifinals bracket for the state title. It should be noted that Moanalo went undefeated during the regular season and won the Oahu Interscholastic Association Championship, winning their 7th league title in a row, and has won the last 12 out of 13 years as OIA volleyball champions. Amazing. Lionel Gannon, Jaron McCutcheon, Taylor Chung, and Christian Cruz helped their team secure this victory. Go Na Menehune. Anything on the agenda? Any other events, concerns, the board, anything to bring up? Anything from the audience to bring up?
Dave.
Can you come up to the microphone, sir?
Your mic was on.
Here at Salt Lake Boulevard, 25 property is the main storage area where they proposed the solar panels. Yeah, I just found out through Coconut Wireless that they plan to build a solar farm in front of my house. So I have concerns about that project, like solar glare, things like that, temperature. If they're doing their EIS, their environmental impact statement, do we have privilege to that copy?
David.
What project are you talking about?
Number.
Namur Road, we're gonna cover that in a little bit if you want to stay on that, so you kind of jump the gun. But
Yeah, sorry.
we'll bring that up and then you have a chance to speak.
Sorry.
Okay, let's move on to Mayor Rick Blangiardi's office.
Hi, good evening. It's Brian Gallagher. I'm the mayor's rep. Actually, I wanted to start off the meeting speaking about another meeting we had recently And the city wanted to thank the board. We've been receiving a lot of positive feedback, and it's the effort that this board has put into making their community better. We had another event or meeting specifically to talk about Mapuna Puna. We brought multiple city departments together, members from the community, and we identified a number of issues that we are working on together to improve the area, especially Mapuna Puna, and hopefully it'll impact, it can spread from there. Specifically, some of the issues we were talking about were one, crime in the area, homelessness, drainage, and trying to figure out where those lines are, where's city and where's state. And even though we wish the most recent storm events didn't happen, it's actually provided an opportunity where the city and state have been able to really start working together very closely and break down those jurisdiction lines. So unfortunately, our Department of Facility Maintenance has been very, very busy with their cleanup efforts on the North Shore and other areas around the island. So we haven't exactly been able to get to a number of the items identified in the meeting we had. However, DFM is following up and talking with DOT on how we can work together to, one, improve drainage, improve traffic, homelessness, improve things for businesses in the community, and some systemic issues where there's businesses in the area that they're just trying to survive, and like say car repair shops, but they also park their cars on the street, park their cars on sidewalks. Parking cars on sidewalks is illegal. Please call the police if it happens. But at the same time, it's not easy to run a business in Hawaii, and you need somewhere. So we want to be cognizant of that and be helpful businesses, but at the same time, that is illegal. It's an ADA issue, and it breaks up sidewalks. And so we're going to try to a classic case we have of where DPP, the city's Department of Planning and Permitting, will issue a violation directly to a business owner or property owner right in front of the sidewalk, say, hey, it's your responsibility to maintain the sidewalk. But however, in some cases, it may not be because of their actions, it may be because of others. So we're trying to do a better job of issuing those violations or concerns better and working with HPD on that. So I feel like it was a very productive meeting. I really want to thank the board for pulling all of that together. It was very good. Kind of tying into the most recent storm events that we've had, there's still an opportunity to, if you need assistance through FEMA, you can still submit. You can still ask. The deadline is June 14th, 2026. Even if you're not sure, or especially if you don't have insurance, please put in, fill out the form, fill out what it is, and see if there's some way to get some assistance. If you do have insurance for your property, specifically for flood, your insurance company will provide the first line of help, and then the second line will be FEMA. But if you're not sure, please check out disasterassistance.gov, or you can call 1-800-621-3362. Going on to some other city updates that we have going on in the area, and actually tying back into the Mapuna Puna efforts. I don't know if people were able to see the City Department of Facilities Maintenance and the State Department of Transportation were able to do a pretty extensive cleanup of the Keahi Lagoon area. So if you don't know where that is, there's actually what we call a kauhale. It's transitional housing for people who need help getting off the streets. It's kind of rehab housing. And then, but right outside that, right between, it's pretty close to Sand Island Access Road, kind of and where the streams come out into Keahi Lagoon. There were a large number of homeless camps and illegal activities. There were some two-story structures that were built and floating in the streamway. So the city and state went in there and they cleaned up the mangroves. They removed the illegal structures. They were able to, I believe, arrest a couple people. And then the whole big part of that goal was to then try and see if we can get them into that transitional housing, get them to a better place, get them the assistance they need, and be becoming a productive member of society. Let's see, going on to, and then our city zoo just received a prestigious award. They were able to receive from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. They received a recognition of the highest standards in animal care, conservation, education, and guest safety. The city's been putting in a lot of effort recently over the last few years into improving the zoo, improving the grounds, improving the enclosures, things like that. So if you get a chance, please go down, check it out, take the kids. They always have a large number of events. You can check them out through our Department of Enterprise Services website. And then if going on to further housing options that the city is working on, the city purchased a 4-story structure on North Pauahi Street, and it has currently about 42 residential units. The city's going to be fixing that up, and we're going to be providing more opportunities to get people off the street into transitional housing and affordable rental housing opportunities. But with that, any questions?
Board, any questions for the mayor's office? Mr. O'More.
Yeah, back earlier this year, I guess David and a couple of us did a tour of the homeless area around Nimitz. Unfortunately, our meetings were canceled in March and April, so we couldn't really talk about it. And a lot of things have happened since then. So I was just going to bring up that issue on that right around the Nimitz Golf Course area, you know, by the old Holiday Inn Airport. I think it's called Airport Inn now or something like that. There's a huge ditch in there. And a lot of garbage gets packed in there. That's the one I think, David, you had me film that area or take pictures. And was wondering what's up with that and who cleans it up and how often? Because that's the homeless guys around there are using that, and maybe not just the homeless, but we get the feeling that it may also be people just driving there and using that as a dump kind of thing. So basically, who's responsible to clean up? And I was thinking city because it's by the road limits, but it could be the state because it's under the viaduct. And
I can answer that, Brian. It's state property, and I don't know if we have anybody representing the state this evening. If not, so Maureen, you got to get together. We're going to send a letter to the state responding for them to take enforcement action, because what they had before, they went away for a little while, and all the homeless came back, and they're all living in ditches. They're urinating, defecating in this canal area, and it's just a bad thing, because a lot of people exercise on this path along Kamehameha Highway, and Mr. Moore is bragging that he runs 20 miles a day. But anyway, but in all seriousness, we need to do something and address that situation. So I know it's not the city, but if the state's not here, we can't get anything with the state. We need to write a letter, and I'll address a letter. Okay, somebody's from the state here, so we'll pick that up when they come up representing the state.
Actually, we can work together with the state on that, because we try to
Okay,
track the
that's
people.
Kamehameha and Camp Catlin.
Okay. Member Omura, have you been able to download the city's 311 app?
no,
You are a prime candidate. Please jump on that, and then you can submit it right away. You're going to be the top star. But it's a great way. That alone, you can take pictures, and it helps track. We put it in a database, and then for cases like that, that's where city and state can work together, especially trying to identify the individuals, who they are, get their information, see where they move around, and try to continually help them.
Any other questions? Audience, any questions for the mayor's office? Thanks, Brian. Oh, and thank you for arranging that meeting for Mapunapuna. We had all the city agencies there, and I think we got a lot accomplished. So thank you for organizing and putting it together.
Yeah, thank you to you too.
Mr. Umur,
this pertains to because of the weather that's been bad. And I know a lot of you guys are out there repairing areas that need the help. But I've been noticing, and not just me, it's the neighbors around been noticing as they're driving, a lot of the weeds and the plants are outgrowing. Are you guys scheduling a cleanup thing, or is it still the lower priority? I understand that because of the repairs we have to do throughout the rest of the island.
Yeah, it's something I think that we're gonna have to work on our scheduling. We're definitely not on our normal maintenance. But, yeah, but we can't let it go. Eventually, we have to get back to it. So,
Thank you, Brian.
thank you.
Councilmember Radiant Cordero's office.
That's all. Hi, good evening, Chair, board members, and community. My name is Linda. I'm council member's representative this evening. So I did provide our written report, and there's copies in the back as well as a flyer that council member wanted me to highlight this evening. So in regards to our report, there were several events that were rescheduled that was due to the storms last month. So it's on our calendar of events, and that's on the last page of our report. It's also on the calendar, but we just got notice that the Energy, Environment, and Sustainability Committee was canceled. So just make a note of that. We apologize. Our report was printed before we got that notice. So just make a note, as well as Councilmember did want to invite everyone and their families to the upcoming Halava Read Out Loud event. It's on May 30th at the Halava Aloha Stadium station. So the flyers are also, as mentioned in the back, registration is required and everyone is welcome. In our report, we also provided resources that may be of interest to folks and residents, including assistance with their sewer bill payments, registration information for any youth that are interested in becoming a junior lifeguard or being part of the junior lifeguard program, and as well as the upcoming bus service changes that will be taking into effect at the end of the month, as well as legislative updates and information on the city's annual budget, which is on page 4. For community concerns, Councilmember did want me to highlight the Salt Lake Municipal Parking Lot update. So improvements have been completed, but there will be additional upgrades that are still forthcoming. So our office will continue to share updates with the community as it becomes available. But at this time, so the parking stalls that does not have a meter will be temporary free of charge. However, those stalls that do have a meter will continue to operate as posted, displayed on the meters. So additional information is found in on the bottom of our page 5, including the rates. And lastly, it's not in our report, but next week, Wednesday, Council Members Committee, which is the Infrastructure, Transportation, and Technology Committee, they will be hearing a presentation on the new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District. So anyone who's interested in this discussion, please tune in. You can view it online at honolulucitycouncil.org. And again, that meeting is next week, Wednesday, May 20th at 9 a.m. That concludes my report. I'm available to take that question.
Board, any questions for the city council? Mr. Moore?
Okay, looking at her, nice letter, by the way, thank you. She's probably one of the more organized ones, so I appreciate that. Tell Radiant, thanks a lot. I like the color and the pictures. But I have a question on pertaining to that the city council has a resolution for an audit of the Honolulu towing program. How is that going by? Because we have a lot of, we have some cars and stuff that, Salt Lake problems with, we've been wanting cars to get towed, like somebody that runs a sales program or something of used cars, sneaking their cars into Salt Lake and parking it there and taking away a lot of our parking stalls. So I just was wondering, just because I know the towing company cannot do nothing until you guys get this thing resoluted. And so I was wondering, how is it coming by?
So the status of it, you mean?
The audit.
Okay, I have to check with our policy team and get back to you if that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Audience, any questions for the city council? Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Governor Josh Green's office, representative. Senator Glenn Wakai's office.
Good evening, Chair Yomes and Neighborhood Board, as well as members in the audience. Ashley Niibu for Senator Glenn Wakai. So I did pass out the Neighborhood Board report for this month. The thing that Senator really wanted to highlight was the tax breaks that the legislature just passed. The Senate was the body that was victorious in its fight to preserve this historic income tax cuts that were promised in 2024. This means an average family of four will save about $20,000 over the next 5 years. Income tax will remain in place for joint filers earning under $350,000 and single filers earning under $175,000. So Senator is really proud of that accomplishment this year. I am available for any questions or concerns that I could take back to him.
Board, any questions for the senator? Audience, any question for Senator Wakai's office? Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to House of Representative Linda Ichiyama.
Good evening, Chair Yomes, members of the Neighborhood Board. I'm circulating a copy of my update for the month of May. On the front, you'll see some of the highlights of the capital improvement projects for our district. Both Salt Lake Elementary School and Moanalo High School will receive much needed funds for upgrades. I also wanted to highlight some of the grants and aids that will benefit the nonprofits that are in our community. On the reverse, we passed a number of bills this year to help Kupuna, and so there are quite a few of them, so I wanted to highlight them in particular. Next neighborhood board meeting, I'd be happy to give you a full update on any other bills. So right now, about 268 bills passed out of the legislature, and the governor is reviewing them, and his deadline to veto them is July 15th. Happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Board, any questions? Representative? Audience, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We found a fifth grade picture of you at Salt Lake Elementary School. We're gonna use it in the video, but I didn't get your permission, so I told them not to.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Chair Young.
Thank you.
Board members.
Yeah, Representative Garner Shimizu's office.
All right. Oh. Point this up a little bit. There we go. All right. Aloha, board members and community members. It is awesome to be here with you guys. It's been a while since I've been in person, so definitely a blessing to be here on behalf of Representative Garner Shimizu's office. Thank you again for the opportunity to be able to provide a brief update this evening. Just passed out our newsletter for this month, but just wanting to point out a couple of things that are in the newsletter, but also not quite in the newsletter, just some updates that we wanted to share. First off, Representative Shimizu sends his aloha and appreciation to the Āliamanu Salt Lake Foster Village and airport area residents who continue to stay engaged in neighborhood issues. Our office values these meetings because they help us to hear directly from the community, better understand resident concerns, and follow up with appropriate agencies when those issues arise. The 2026 legislative session, as you guys have heard, has recently concluded, and Representative Shimizu would like to thank everyone who contacted our office, submitted testimony, and completed the mid-session survey or shared concerns throughout the session. Community feedback continues to guide the work that Representative Shimizu does on behalf of the district, and our office is now reviewing those survey responses and constituent concerns to identify the top issues that the residents want addressed. One of the major next steps for our office that's not quite in the newsletter yet, but will be in our upcoming mailers, is a District 32 Town Hall, which is scheduled Tuesday, June 16th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Moanalo Middle School cafeteria. The working focus of this is practical district concerns, including public safety, infrastructure, water-related issues, traffic, maintenance, and overall quality of life for residents. We're also working to include appropriate subject matter experts so residents can hear directly from agencies or individuals who may be able to answer any questions that they may have or provide useful information. Our office has also been looking into reoccurring maintenance schedules for the areas in and around the district. So far, reached out to city offices and departments regarding park maintenance, road and sidewalk maintenance, and traffic-related concerns. We have not quite gotten the schedules that we are looking for in terms of maintenance. Not every department is offering them, but as we get more information, we'll disseminate that information to the community. Representative Shimizu is also continuing to monitor district and regional issues, including Red Hill, infrastructure concerns, public safety, and transportation impacts. Our office recently shared updates on hurricane season preparedness and other public notices with community leaders so that residents can stay informed as we move into the summer months. As always, if any of you guys have specific concerns, we encourage all of you to reach out to our office directly so that we can log the issue, identify the appropriate agency, and follow up as accurately as possible. You can reach us at 808-586-9470 or by email at repshimizu@capital.hawaii.gov. If you have not already, you could also go to our website at repshimizu.com to sign up for our e-newsletters and receive regular updates. That is all that I have to update with you guys with today. I am available for any questions, and thank you again for the opportunity to share.
Board, any questions? Go ahead.
Thank you for the updates. Real quick, there was pre the floods that happened a couple of months ago. There was a resolution that was brought up to some of the legislation about the homeless shelter that proposal that he was going to bring up. I know there was good traction as he was starting to present the bill to the other governments on passing this bill and the concerns of the homeless that we have in and around in the districts and whatnot. But after the floods, I haven't heard anything about it. Is there any updates, or will we be provided updates on whether that bill is moving forward, or is it still at this point?
So this is in reference to the homeless bill that Rep. Shimizu was working on introducing.
Correct.
So unfortunately, while that bill did get a little bit of traction on the Senate side, the Senate companion bill was moving forward a bit. It did not get past the WHAM hearing on the Senate side. And so unfortunately, the bill kind of died there for the session, but the idea still lives, and Representative Shimizu is going to continue to work with stakeholders and work to tighten up the bill a bit more so that we can get even more traction for it should we be able to reintroduce that bill this next legislative session.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Audience have any questions? Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to presentations. We have Marisco Incorporated doing business as Pualoa Solar, presenting regarding a renewable energy project on Namur Road.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Strickler with Amoresco. This is Richard Stuhan. Yeah, Richard Stuhan. So we're here to talk about the Pualoa Solar Project. And can everyone see behind me? I'm kind of big. I'm probably blocking the wall. But we're building a 6 megawatt solar farm on Navy property. It's going to be at the corner of Namur Road and Salt Lake Boulevard. Be able to bring up the slides. There we go. So next slide, please. There we go. So I'm going to take the mic real quick and talk a little bit about the project. So this is Namur Road right here. This is Salt Lake Boulevard here. This is going to be the solar farm, which is right now it's an industrial area, a storage area that the Navy uses. I know the gentleman brought up the question about the solar panels and glare in the Salt Lake area. All the panels are going to face north along the road here. So there won't be any reflection up this way. Everything will go this way towards the basement here. So I don't expect there to be any impact on the residents in this area. We also did an environmental assessment on this. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, the Navy conducted an environmental assessment as part of the National Environmental Policy Act. And it looked at a number of impacts, and it did include a glint glare analysis, and no issues were identified. So
So I'll tell you a little bit more about the project. So can we go to the next slide, please? Sorry, I keep moving around. Yes. There we go. So as I mentioned, it's going to be located on Pearl Harbor at the corner of Salt Lake Boulevard and Namer Road. It's a 6 megawatt solar farm, so it's going to have roughly 15 acres of panels will be out there. And then we'll have 30 megawatts of battery storage. What does that mean? It's roughly 10 battery containers that are going to be out there. The battery containers are going to be on the far away corner of the site, furthest away from the residential area, furthest away from the roads. So it'll be on the main base side. So we sited it that way on purpose for safety. And we've been coordinating with the Navy Fire Department about the locating of the batteries and coordinating and all that. It is going to provide energy to the surrounding area. So the power isn't going to go to the base. The power, we're going to sell the power to Hawaiian Electric, and that power goes into the grid and is for everybody here on Oahu to use. Next slide, please. So I mentioned a little bit about the power that we're going to be producing. 100%, it's to help the state's 100% renewable energy goal by 2030. I think the bullet point on here that probably jumps out to a lot of people is we're going to have a community benefit with this project, which will be based for the next 25 years. So can we go to the next slide, please? So, oh, did the photos not come up? Okay. So long story short, we're going to be giving $18,000 a year to the local community for the next 25 years as part of the project. We're going to be giving the money to the Hawaii Community Foundation, and we are going to try to keep the money as best we can in the local area. So yesterday, Richard and I went over to Radford High School and met with the principal there to talk to him about some programs and see what we could do with a donation from the Hawaii Community Foundation. We've also been participating in the Genki Ball throws. For the last couple of weeks, been working with Senator Kai, Senator Chiyama on all that, so thank you. We also worked with Radford High School a few months ago. They needed funding to help pay for their AP testing for the seniors that were doing their AP tests. We helped fund all of that. You know, we're looking forward to being part of this community for the next 25 years and contributing and providing actual funds to the community to help out. Next slide, please. So talk a little bit about the schedule. So as you've probably seen, if you drive along Salt Lake Boulevard or along Namer Road, the dust fence has gone up around the outside of the property. Our goal is to start work on the project in June, to start putting the screws in. We've conducted the environmental assessments. We finished the archaeological surveys. We didn't find anything. We did do some hazardous material testing. We did find a little bit of asbestos in some of the buildings out there that are going to come down. We're going to remediate that and take care of that. The goal is to start construction, like I said, in June, and we should be completed by the end of November of 2027. That's the goal. Next slide. So Richard's going to talk a little bit about the construction mitigation.
Yeah, thank you. So as Josh had mentioned, one of the first things that you can see right now is that dust fence. In addition, for like dust mitigation, there will be water trucks during construction used to help abate dust. The mitigation plan includes consideration of traffic. So we're going to schedule equipment deliveries outside of high traffic times. Most of those deliveries will come from Salt Lake Boulevard. There's access to the site there. And parking, all parking for construction crews are going to be on site, so that we won't be bringing people into your neighborhood. Noise, we filed for a community noise permit. So construction hours will be weekdays between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. So we won't be disturbing you folks in the evenings or on weekends with construction noise. And if anything should come up, any concerns that weren't anticipated, we'll notify the board. We have a website that we can post announcements to. Next slide. Just briefly wanted to talk about the simulations we did. So this is at Salt Lake Boulevard and Marshall and Bikini Street. view in Mackay. You've got an existing view, and then the view you'll see mainly screened by the fencing. Next slide. This is from Salt Lake Boulevard and Maluna Street. Again, viewing toward the project. Again, you'll see there's a fence in the simulated conditions. Depending on where you're at relative to elevation, there you may see some panels. You'll see there on the right hand of that image. Some of these buildings are the buildings that you were talking about, Josh, right?
These right here, these buildings here will be taken down, but this is X24, the one corner of Salt Lake Boulevard, and maybe that's to stay. So maybe wanted to keep that for storage. So that this building will remain.
Next slide. Okay, view from Namer Road. Again, these are some of the structures that are here today. They'll be going away. From this side of Namer Road, I believe this is base housing, viewing into the facility. The arrangement in the simulation maybe is not quite fully up to date, but conceptually, the batteries for the elements that are seen, they look like shipping containers essentially. So that's
Move those to the our sites.
yeah. Next slide. All right, one of the purposes in being here is we wanted to make sure you folks knew how to make comments. Just for reference, the power purchase agreement between our project and Hawaiian Electric is at the Public Utilities Commission at this time. So, definitely would encourage you to use either, we have some comment forms in the back of the room. Otherwise, the website, pualoasolar.com has a comment page where you can reach us. And there's also a project email, info@pualoasolar.com. So, and with that, we're open to questions.
Board questions? Audience have any questions regarding this project? Mr. O'More?
Yeah. Thank you, Chair, for recognition. Anyway, I have a couple of questions. So will you be using heavy equipment in that area?
Yes, we'll be using heavy equipment. We're going to have a man lift to take down the buildings.
Right.
So we're working with Reuse Hawaii. They're going to be coming in and taking down the warehouses that are there and taking them down to the recycling center down in Salt Lake. But they're going to be using a man lift for that. And then there's going to be some grading work that's going to be going on. So there will be some dozer work out there to spread some of the dirt around. But then after that, it's mostly large hand tools that we're going to be using to put the solar panel screws into the ground and mounting all that. And then when we do deliver large equipment to the site, we'll be using a crane to offload the batteries and then some of the larger electrical equipment.
So where will you be stored? Where will this heavy equipment be stored? Will you be moving it to a different location and bringing it back? Because several other projects in the past in different things, they've had heavy equipment and then they couldn't store it like maybe a half a mile or a mile away. So in moving down, it kind of like because they get there early in the morning and late at night as well. It makes a lot of noise as it's moving out back. So where will you be holding the heavy equipment?
So I wish I had the satellite image. I could show you a little bit better. But we have a storage area right next to the construction site on the base side. So right now it's the parking lot for the NAVFAC compound that's in there. We're going to be using that as our site laydown area and equipment storage area. So once the equipment comes in, it's not going to leave and come back and forth throughout the day or throughout the project. Once it's on the site, it's going to stay there until we're done with it and we take it out.
Okay.
Audience, any questions? Sir, you
got more
have your concerns? Stand up, please, and come up. Sir, use a microphone.
Loud enough. Oh. I'm retired, so I'm just like trying to.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I got one, thank
I don't
you.
think
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge, you answering my concern.
Mhm.
Yeah. Another concern that I have is there going to be physical security involved for this facility? Because in the past, the Navy Yard base was used to fire illegal fireworks. You know, prior to the Āliamanu fireworks, they used to hop over the fence and fire illegal fireworks, almost every month. But
So the base security is still going to patrol the area
yeah.
and keep an eye on the area. So we're going to have the fence is going to be up around it. And then, like you said, base security will be in the area to keep an eye on it.
Yeah,
So-
I see the roving patrol.
Yes.
And plus
yeah.
they have that, I think that stationary security. It's the station.
Oh, no, we're not going to have any of that. No.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
No, but I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. Like you seen the Safeway parking lot?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
With the
trailer with,
lights.
yeah.
Yeah, like
We're
at
not,
Walmart.
yeah, we're not,
Yeah,
yeah, like a
yeah,
Walmart,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, we're not going to have anything like that at the site.
Oh, okay.
Not right now, that's the plan, but we're going to rely on base security for that.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you
I
for
think
your
with
question.
security, people were able to just hop the fence and light those fireworks. I always wondered because it's federal property,
Yeah, that's something we hadn't really, I don't expect there's going to be a lot of that going on because I mean, it's, yeah, hopefully not. I
Hopefully.
mean, it's going to be covered in panels, so there's really not, there's not a lot of space to go in there and do anything. So, yeah,
Okay.
you don't expect any of that.
So for future reference, we can address our concerns on the paper, the sheet.
Yeah, if you want to
okay.
fill out the sheet and then go on the website, yeah, if you want to,
Yeah.
and then I can give you my card when we're done here if you want to reach out.
All
to me
right, yeah,
directly.
appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah, because I have one of my neighbors over here and he had the similar concern.
Yeah, no problem.
He's too shy to talk.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
This gentleman's not shy to talk, so.
Any other questions from the audience? Anything online?
He's got more questions.
Thank you. Come on, Mr. Moore, go ahead.
Okay,
I'm happy to, yeah, go ahead.
third round here. Okay, the other question I had is, the batteries?
Correct.
There's been some concerns. I'm not into batteries and stuff like that, but some of my neighbors are around the Āliamanu area. And so they were asking me, what is the concern about battery leakage or battery, is there such a thing as battery leakage where the thing could leak and get into the environment or, when you have severe storms and stuff, right? The water takes stuff
Right.
and if so, because that could contaminate and affect people around the area. So that's one of someone asked me to ask that question.
Sure. So the batteries come in, we're going to be using Tesla batteries. So you've probably heard of them with the Tesla cars. So they've got a really good reputation with the cars. They do a really good job with their industrial batteries as well. So it's going to be in a sealed container that's going to contain, prevent anything from coming out of it. And then they're going to be built on concrete pads. And then there's going to be spill containment or on the concrete pads as well. So if for whatever reason there is a leakage, it probably wouldn't be coming from the batteries themselves. It would probably come from the cooling system, the glycol system that's there. But again, that would all get captured on the site. So.
Yeah, any other questions from appreciate. As a result of this presentation, a resolution in support of the above renewable energy project is made by this chair for the community. I'm going to read the resolution and then we'll have a board vote if we will support this project. Resolution supporting Pu'uloa Solar Renewable Energy Project on Namur Road. Whereas the Āliamanu Salt Lake Fossa Village Airport Neighborhood Board 18 serves as a volunteer citizens advisory board whose purpose is to increase and assure effective citizen participation in the decisions of government. Whereas it is estimated that over 40,000 persons live in and around Salt Lake. Whereas this board, who is voted in by their constituents, holds presentations by different groups on various topics at their monthly meetings that affect the community. The board provides feedback to the community and government officials as a result of these presentations. Whereas that on May 14, 2026, Amerisco Incorporated, operating locally under the subsidiary Puolo Solar LLC, gave a presentation to this neighborhood board regarding a renewable energy project on Namur Road. Whereas Namur Road is located on federal property and part of Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam. Namur Road intersects with Salt Lake Boulevard, and both streets fall under this neighborhood board. Namur Road is, this project provides Oahu with cheaper, reliable, and clean energy. The construction and operation of this clean, renewable solar energy generation facility will open in 2027. Whereas this project will not only serve Pearl Harbor, Hickam, but provide energy to the surrounding areas and greater Oahu. Whereas this project spearheaded by Amerisco Incorporated is a strategic, first of its kind partnership with the Hawaiian Electric Company, HECO, and the United States Department of the Navy. Whereas this project will provide an economic boost for the community in the hiring of workers locally here in construction-related jobs, apprenticeship opportunities for locals, and using local business suppliers for materials. Whereas Amerisco Incorporated has committed in providing $18,000 each year to help fund community projects. They already have helped schools with scholarships and programs, along with assisting communities with their projects. They have assisted in the environmental remediation of the Salt Lake waterway and participated in cleanups of the surrounding area. This is a direct, long-term community investment by them. This speaks volumes for businesses like Amerisco Incorporated, who gives back to the community. Whereas to appreciate the necessity of this pool or solar project for the community, you must understand that the island of Oahu functions as an entirely isolated electrical grid managed by Hawaiian Electric Company, HECO. Some of their facilities are old, such as their Waiau power plant, which must be transformed, reconditioned, or replaced. Whereas Pulo Solar will provide backup to the civilian grid when needed for the surrounding areas during power outages. Whereas this project provides our neighborhood with a win-win situation. Whereas Amerisco Incorporated has continued to inform this board of this project, providing details and answers thus far in the process. They have also provided a strategic mitigation plan to reduce potential risks or negative impacts as a result of the project. Whereas this board has not received any negative responses or objections to this project from the public as of this writing. Be it resolved that the Āliamanu Salt Lake Foster Village Airport Neighborhood Board supports this Pu'uloa Solar Renewable Energy Project on Namur Road. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be transmitted to our federal, state, and city partners, along with area politicians, to include Hawaiian Electric Company, the United States Department of the Navy, and the Public Utilities Commission. With that said, there were some concerns brought up this evening, two by Mr. Omura. Mr. Omura was concerned about heavy equipment, and I guess his answer was answered. And battery leakage, Mr. Omura brought that up, and it was answered. And the gentleman in the audience brought up physical security for the community while the project is in place. Those were the only concerns brought up in our meeting this evening. At which time, board, we'll open this up to discussion. With that discussion, is there a second? Mrs. Kanemura has the second. With that discussion, since I initiated this resolution, it's a win-win for our community. Not only they're providing for national security on the military bases, they're also providing the surrounding areas such as Āliamanu, Salt Lake, Foster Village, all these areas with backup grids. When Hawaiian Electric goes down, this Pu'uloa Solar Energy can come in and help with the grid, I should say. And also, we need more companies to do this where they support the local communities when they have these projects. And I thank Marisco for helping the community and making a financial commitment for the next 25 years with a $18,000 budget for the community. Other than that, board, this will be open up to you folks as far as you have anything to say about this project, board members? If not, I'm going to call for a board vote regarding this resolution to support Pu'uloa Solar Incorporated. Is there, let's do okay. Is there any objections regarding supporting this resolution of this project on Namur Road? Seeing none, hearing none, motion is adopted. The resolution is adopted, I should say. Moving on our agenda. We got the Aloha Stadium.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, board. Communications specialist. I will do a quick update on current events that we have going on, and then I will definitely turn it over to our colleague for other updates. So right now, because it has been a little bit since we have been here, in regards to the swap meet, we are heading into our summer season. So we are seeing a lot more visitors attending the swap meet as well as vendors. We are starting to notice that vendors are starting to come on Sundays as early as 2:30 in the morning to set up. We are at capacity on Sundays, and so we are having to turn them away. So we are working on a revised plan to encourage everyone to come on Saturdays as well, because we do still have space available. We are looking into possible other areas on the site that we can use to accommodate more of those daily vendors that want to come and sell on Sundays. We also just wrapped up as part of the state initiative with the food bank. We did a 5-day on-site drive where we did a donate $1 with all proceeds going to the food bank. And over the 5 days, we collected over $2,000. So we really want to thank the community and all the visitors for helping support that great cause for that. Moving on, since the last time we did report, we had 2 separate websites for the NACID project as well as for the Aloha Stadium. That has been since combined. So all of your new project updates and events that happen within the stadium will be at the alohastadium.hawaii.gov site. We have phased out our NACID website. Again, this was something just to make it a little bit easier for our community and for those who wanted to see what was going on, not only with the project, but what we have going on currently at the stadium. We do have additional construction cams where we provide weekly updates for things that you may not be able to see when you drive by. So that's an exciting addition. As well as our newsletter has been revamped. We have taken that in-house. So you will be seeing project updates. We're doing more partnerships with the University of Hawaii, with the Department of Education as well for that, which leads me to our community and upcoming events. Just some past events that we have done. So we did do there was a lot of schools that were affected by the flood, and we really wanted to do something. Department of Education sits on our board for the Stadium Authority. So very quickly, we put together a donation drive, supply drive, specifically for the schools within the flood area, as well as the schools that had to take in those kids. So we did it for one day. It was an all-day event. The community really came out and showed up, so we're really thankful for that. And then also our partners at AHDP, Aloha Halava District Partners, came together with Fisher Hawaii and donated $20,000 that went specifically to the schools. And so we were able to get a lot of the needs, not only for this school year, but then for next year. So we're very grateful for that community event that we did have. Also with the Department of Education, we are in the works of launching a new curriculum. We have a new AI mascot called Aloha from Halava. He is currently on our Instagram as well as YouTube. We are working with a local celebrity to be kind of the voiceover. But Al is basically going to teach kids from kindergarten all the way through high school. We understand the NACED project is really a learning project. And AHDP has been a great partner in helping us really teach the kids. We've heard a lot, especially from Aiea Elementary being right across the street from us, where the kids want to know what's going on. Their parents don't know, so we want the kids to teach the parents. And then, of course, by the time the kids get older, they will be coming to our events here. So we're really excited about Aloha with that. And then lastly, we do have a concert coming up on August 8th. So we will be starting to do more events in the parking lot area. So that concert will be with TMR. It is Rebel Soja. It's a semi-local reggae band from California. So TMR has done events before with us. He is one of our preferred promoters that follows the rules for that. So that will be happening on August 8th. And then oh gosh, sorry, I have two more. I'm taking up so much time. So another event that is coming up is when you guys drive past the stadium, you see the black walls that are up, the construction walls. So we are working with the State Foundation of Culture and Arts. We just awarded a local artist to help us with the community come out and do painting. So right now we're in the process of creating what that mural will be. I believe it was how far? It's far. How many, does it go past? It's like a mile. 3,000 feet, he told me, of painting. So we will need the community. We want the kids involved, the Boys and Girls Club, to really come out and help us, because that will be something that will be up for the next 2 to 3 years with that. And before I turn it over, we have been in the works for the last 3 years with PBS, and we will finally be launching our 30-minute documentary on the tribute to Aloha Stadium, which will be on May 27th at 7:30 on PBS Hawaii. And it really is kind of a tribute to the stadium, all the great events that we've had, and what we're going to be leading up to. So we're really excited for that partnership. So if you can get that, if not, it will be on our website eventually. And then for our NACED project, normally I would be giving you the updates on that. We had a lot of exciting things happen in the month of April. Yes, going on. I know you guys all saw it. So moving forward, we have Justin Louie with Stanford Card Development, who is representing the Aloha Halava District Partners, to turn over and talk about all the project updates that we have going on.
Thank you, Samantha. Board members, thanks for having us, and members of the community. What happened in April, I don't know if everyone saw in the news, but we did some tripping activities, and that's some controlled demolition of the stadium as we continue to dismantle the stadium. We do have an upcoming event on June 2nd that we'd like to extend to the neighborhood board members to come and join us to celebrate this milestone for another tripping event. We will have another one later in the month or early July. The timing is still kind of up in the air right now. But we're excited about this huge milestone. And another event that happened in April was we hosted the Radford High School automotive students that came, and as part of that visit, they got to see some of the demolition activities that took place on site. They seemed really excited, and we sent them home with some chairs from the old stadium. And one of their school projects is to refurbish that and show us, how they did as part of that project. So we want to thank Senator Wakai and his office for putting us in contact, and we're happy to share that with the community. So that's what's happening throughout the summer. You'll continue to see dismantling activities. Our team is proactively managing the traffic and monitoring that as it impacts the community. Trucks usually will truck out materials on the non-swap meet days, and on swap meet days we'll limit it as much as possible because we know that a lot of the public comes and shops at the swap meet. So that's gonna take us through basically till the end of the year towards fall, and that's when our demolition activities will come to a close. That's the event update so far, but happy to answer any questions.
I'm going to jump in quickly. For community that has any concerns regarding anything that happens with the stadium as well as construction, we do have a contact page that goes directly to me. So you can answer any kind of questions or ask any kind of questions, and then we will be able to provide you answers or updates with anything that you need from that. And then before we open up to questions, the fun part of the evening, I'm going to turn it over to Chris Kinimaka, who will report on all the bills.
Aloha Chair Yomes, members of the board, and members of the community. Chris Kinimaka from I'm Special Project Manager on behalf of DAGS and the Stadium Authority, and I get to do the most exciting part, but Rep. Chiyama can go ahead and get excited with me. But out of roughly 21 bills that were introduced that directly affected the stadium, 2 did make it to the governor's desk, along with the other 288 bills there. The 2 bills are Senate Bill 2074, and that's the one that basically reaffirmed the Stadium Authority's ability and rights to lease naming rights for their facility so they can generate revenue. And it also reaffirmed that all those revenues can go into their stadium special fund. The other big bill that we're watching more closely was Senate Bill 2599. We were calling that the HCDA bill, the Hawaii Community Development Authority bill. And that one was what we're watching closely because it did affect the $49.5 million. If you recall us raising that issue, the money was appropriated and put it in the stadium special fund, but there was the fund ceiling was so low that we really couldn't make good use of that funding to support all of our development. This bill now lifts that restriction so that we can have full access to the funding, contribute to the whole project. It does require require us to partner more closely with HCDA, and that'll be with the Stadium Authority and with DAGS working together. And really the intent behind that is to get all of us to partner with all of the best skills and abilities and authorities we have to bring forward more, fortuitous project for the whole community. So those who are familiar, HCDA does have authorities for zoning and land use. They also have access to funding that can help us pay for infrastructure and public facilities. So we're already working on that and working on getting our agreements in place, can get access to that funding and bring more benefits to the community. And with that, we're open to questions.
More, any questions for the stadium? Mr. O'More.
Yeah, I was wondering about, for advertising and stuff. I noticed there was something on one of the bills, and I guess it must have failed, but on advertising, lighting advertising kind of thing, because they do that on the mainland and they generate millions of dollars. And, we're out trying to generate to get these big corporations to come. But then when I see that they fail or they don't do these ideas, and then they're saying that, like our government is saying, we need to bring in businesses outside, and I look at what we're doing here, it's kind of ridiculous, but my opinion. And so anyway, it must have failed then, I assume, those signs thing.
Yes, there were several bills that had language on the outdoor signage, including the naming rights bill. All of that language was stripped from that bill, and all of the other bills that addressed the outdoor signage also did not pass. So that is more closely related to the billboard laws and signage facing outwards. One of the things that we're working very closely with on the outdoor circle, and then we're agreement in, is really trying to generate excitement about the district. So right now, a lot of inward facing signage and, you know, the kinds of poster boards or video screens that are wayfinders or ways to show what are happening with events so that the community can get involved, both inside and outside of our facilities are in the discussion. But yes, all of that language did not go through this year.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything for the stadium audience? Thank you all. Military, Army?
Let's do that. Good evening, Chairman Jones, members of the board. So from U.S. Army Garrison, Hawaii, so the first one upcoming job fair is May 18th, which I believe public math is next Monday. That's going to be at Āliamanu Military Reservation beginning at 8:30 and ending at 2 p.m. This is open to the public. There will be job offers and provisional hiring the day of the job fair, and advanced applicants may go to www.himwr.com. There are opportunities in business operations like golf, bowling, food service, and many more. Child Youth Services, or CYS, will have openings to consider as well. And for those who work in CYS, there are a variety of benefits such as retirement, access to all recreation facilities, discounted childcare, training, and commissary and PX privileges. Next one is kind of the normal training advisories, most of which are located up in the Schofield Barracks, East Range, Wheeler Army Airfield area, so not really an impact down in this neck of the woods, but those are available or through the community relations, and I can send those dates if you want. They basically are every weekday between now and the end of the month, and I imagine I'll see one for June and July as well. And then finally, this week they have been executing the prescribed burns up at Schofield Barracks. These I had talked about, I think, in February, and then they were delayed, and then they were delayed again. But the dates for those, at least the planned dates, are May 11th through May 15th. And they appreciate the community's understanding as they adjust timing to ensure safe conditions. And any updates can be found on U.S. Army Garrison's Facebook page. And for any concerns, please call the community concern line with U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii at 808-787-1528 or the usag.hawaii.com rel at army.mil. If that was a lot to write down, I left about 10 other copies of this exact same thing I just read on the back table for your reading pleasure, pending your questions from the board.
Board, any questions for the Army? Audience, any question for the Army? Sir, you come up to the microphone.
Would you please consider getting permission to run one of these job fairs or run job fairs at the Oahu Veterans Council property right here in this neighborhood area? There's a lot of retired military that live in this area because of the way it was created. And also they have children that may be having a hard time finding a job, and you could hire them.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, sir. I will take that note back to the Army Garrison and relay the Oahu Veteran Center you said. Okay, too easy. I can relay that back to community relations in Garrison and see what their interest is. Okay, yeah, and I think it was March or April, they did do a hiring fair at the AMR area as well. So at least in the military housing area over by the gym and the community center. So, but I will relay that, sir. No problem, sir. And let's hope I can get this mic back in the stand.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. Appreciate it. Navy?
Hey, good evening and aloha, Chairman Youms, board members and members of the community. Chuck Anthony from Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam. Got a few things. As part of its ongoing commitment to safety, Navy Closure Task Force Red Hill is scheduled to begin erosion control efforts at the facility property beginning in June, which may cause an increase in noise. To ensure the long-term stability of the hillside, crews must safely break apart large, loose boulders to facilitate the removal and prepare the site for long-term erosion controls, such as reinforced netting. This critical phase of the project may temporarily create louder, than average noise during normal working hours surrounding communities. Item number 2, speaking of the Oahu Veterans Center in Foster Village, this coming Wednesday, May 20th at 6 p.m. is the next Restoration Advisory Board meeting. The Restoration Advisory Board, or RAB, is a forum for members of the community to find out about environmental issues related to Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam and Kalaeloa of concern to the communities. So we invite everybody to come on out and participate if so inclined. Wanted to give an update too on our volunteer efforts for the clean up the waterway and the Genki Ball. We've got about a dozen volunteers who've already signed up. Hopefully we'll get even a few more before Saturday, but wanted to let you know we're thinking about you and doing our best to get people out there to help the community. And the last item that I have is that the every 2 years there's a Rim of the Pacific, RIMPAC. We always use the acronym exercise that this year is going to bring 31 nations, and that's going to start June 24th and run through July 31st. Exercise will feature a multinational force of approximately 40 surface ships, 5 submarines, 140 aircraft, and more than 25,000 personnel, which sounds like a lot. But other than for a few days when sailors will have leave and will be going out into the community to go to restaurants and see some of the other things that Hawaii has to offer, most people really won't see much of a difference in terms of the exercise because it's going to be far out to sea. So with that, I'd like to open it up for any questions that you folks may have.
Board, any questions for the Navy? Mr. Omura.
Yeah, I have a question pertaining. Do you answer questions for the Air Force kind of thing? Because Joint Hickam and Pearl Harbor, right? So
I can, depending upon what the topic is,
Uh,
but I can give it a shot.
lately, my neighbors have been saying that the jets that fly in the morning seem to be flying more inside, inland. And I was just wondering if that's because of the wind and the weather that we've had, these Kona winds and stuff, that they're doing that? Or is it just by plan? And if it is, then it's a complaint.
Okay, so without knowing exactly the where they're flying, as a general rule, the type of jet noise that may impact folks in the Salt Lake area is probably related to what they call tactical landings. This is where the jets do these kind of corkscrew
Yeah, they go.
as they come in for a landing, and they have to do those. They have to maintain their currency on doing those because it's a vital type of maneuver that's used to ensure that aircraft can land in, sometimes hostile environments. And so those corkscrew-like type of landings will take those jets sometimes over the Salt Lake area, and I suspect that may be what people are seeing and hearing.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Anybody here from Space Force? No.
Where?
Board of Water Supply?
Space Force?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jimmy Llanos, and I'll be representing Board of Water Supply tonight. For my main break report, there was only one main break in April that occurred on April 13th. That was an 8-inch diameter pipe at 850 Ahua Street. Next, moving on to my general water announcement, I'm going to be talking about water conservation. Recent storms may have brought rain, but water conservation still matters. Rainfall alone is not enough to offset everyday water use, especially during the warmer summer months. That is why it is important to continue using water wisely and doing our part to prevent waste. Here are some easy ways to save water this summer. Water your plants early in the morning to reduce evaporation. Take shorter showers. Check for toilet leaks. A faulty flapper is often the culprit. Do not let the faucet run unnecessarily. And apply for BWS rebates on water-efficient appliances and systems. Using water wisely helps conserve this valuable resource and can help lower your water bill. Get more tips at www.boardofwatersupply.com/7ways. So that concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Board of Water Supply Board? Audience, any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Moving on in our agenda, we have the approval of minutes, approval of the February 12th, 2026 regular meeting minutes. Board, is there any changes or corrections to these minutes? Hearing none, the minutes are submitted as approved and submitted. Oh. We have, anybody else have any announcements? I do have, our next meeting is July 9th at 6:30 PM at the same location here. There will be no meeting in June, the board recess. And anybody on the board has anything else to add before I end this meeting? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.